Hey guys, in today's episode, we pick winners and losers in trades so far in the season in our local league.
Welcome to the Coach and Commish podcast. No, not John Gruden, and definitely not Roger Goodell. It's Chris and Sean breaking down fantasy football for the everyday man.
Welcome back. You are here with a Coach and Commish. I'm Chris and Sean. Just if you needed to make sure, we've been gone for so long. But we wanted to, kick things off here as we're coming back from the injury list.
Had some sickness. This man's got a second hurt ankle.
Yeah, I had surgery last May on my left foot and hurt my right foot this time. So I just had to put the boot and the scooter to the right leg. So I just can't get away
Falling
from
apart over there, Coach.
Boot Scootin' Boogie, that's my name. I should change that for my fantasy league. But in today's local 757 podcast, we want to go over some trades that started right before the draft or right at the draft. And 4 weeks into the season, I think we can see some winners and losers. And our local guys, our league mates, they want to know what we think, who won and who lost. And some of them will not like us after this episode.
That's true. It's just how trades go, though.
Let's start with your trade.
All right.
I didn't even want to put it on here. It was on draft night, beautiful draft night. I can't remember where I was. I was late to my own draft
barbecue.
Hosting. Yeah, I had this thing to do with my fiance, and so I ended up hosting last second over for the fantasy. So I come into this whole thing about some draft day trade right before the kickoff. So Sean, tell us what the draft was looking like, and I'll tell you who's the winner or loser.
So the draft day trade was I traded Tyreek Hill for essentially Alvin Kamara, and then there was some picks involved switching afterward, but that's really the gist of it. It's really hard to track everything else that happened, but that's pretty much where we sit is Tyreek for Alvin Kamara.
Yep.
So you'll have to chime in here. I mean, I'll give you what I think, but
I think it's a clear wash.
Okay, that's what I would say. It's to be determined still.
You two are still up.
Which I think is a win for Phil based on what everyone freaked out about.
We freaked out on Phil at draft night, and look where he's at.
Yeah, he's number one, undefeated.
Number one, undefeated in our league. You're still up there, so everything's working out just fine for both teams. When we thought we thought Kamara would be doing outperforming Hill right now, and it would look really, really bad losing an opportunity to have an RB1. But Phil, you're doing just fine. So it's a wash there. And let's go over to about a month ago, the Taj and Soul Juice had a trade. They did a running back swap. Taj got Najee Harris, and he sent Saquon Barkley to Andy in Colorado.
Yeah, that we knew that was going to happen. The Taj, Tim, the doctor, not an
James.
MD, is our resident Steelers fan. We have another Steelers fan as well, but he wanted Najee Harris. He believed in him this year. This is another one that's, I think, pretty close to a wash. I would say, surprisingly, I actually think if I had to pick a player rest of season, I might take Saquon at this point. He is looking healthy. Giants offense doesn't look as inept as we thought, but it's really close. I think this is really close. What do you think?
I think Najee's showing that. I think I was listening to the footballers. I'm going to use the same analogy, but like Najee lives on the second floor. He's not never down on the bottom. Not down at his floor. He's always high on there because the targets are so high. The offensive line is so bad that his running production wouldn't be great, but Ben is giving him the swing pass all day long. He is so involved in the pass game that guaranteed targets.
Yeah, for safety, I would say it's Najee. For upside, it's Saquon.
All right. This next one I know you'll love. It involves kickers, but I couldn't
move on to the next
this.
one. I'm not even going to comment. You could go for
all
this,
right,
Chris.
let's
it's
look
all
at
you.
I know you had to send Koo back. Leroyce was a funny thing to do, and Daniel had Tyler Bass. But I'm just saying, you sent Leroyce, the number one kicker in fantasy, by a long shot right now, and $11 of fab for Koo that's a number 15 in fantasy because Atlanta's offense is so awful.
Yep.
So I didn't care if it was straight kicker, but when you give $11 of fab, I was like, oh, it's a clear winner, Leroyce.
Yep.
All right, talking about Leroyce. This guy was trading everybody in the next couple of picks here. our next couple of segments. We have a running back swap. That was a head scratcher to us, but Daniel.
That was a quick. I need to trade. I think is what it was. He's just missed trading all offseason, I guess, and went for this trade.
He needs to switch jobs. He needs to go be like a stockbroker or something. he needs to hit the
He
market.
loves the trading. So he gave away Chris Carson and David Montgomery for Joe Mixon. And at the time this trade was god awful. I think it's still terrible. It's unfortunate that it looks like Montgomery's got some type of serious injury. Is there been any updates?
Carson has a neck injury.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Carson's
And then
possibly out too.
Joe Mixon right now has a low-grade ankle sprain.
So everybody in this trade is hurt. So it's really hard to evaluate it. So I'm going to evaluate it as if we're 3 weeks out from now and everybody's just healthy again, and that would be Leroy. This was a bad decision.
Yeah.
David Montgomery was trending as a top 5 back, so yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, let's see if you got any better here. Elijah Mitchell, the Taj and Leroyce here. So Tim James picks up Elijah Mitchell from Leroyce, and he sends Corey Davis and $15 fab. Does this even matter, or what do you think?
This fab man, he likes his fab. I guess he needs it when he spends up on the waiver wire for these running backs. I would say Leroyce won this trade. I mean, Elijah Mitchell has moved on from Tim's team because he was never able to really start him. I think, he got to maybe put him in 1 week, but that was the week he got hurt.
Yeah.
Corey Davis had a big week last week. I think he's going to be a steady guy you can put in the flex if you need something.
He was one of my guys from the beginning of the season. Still is.
Yeah, so I think Leroy slightly wins this. Tim got out from under Mitchell. I don't know if we'll talk about that trade, but that's another
I think it's
trade.
going down there.
Yeah.
All right, so literally, I loved when I put this down. I was like, that was like 20 days ago. There's a lot happening in like a 1 week span of trade in our league.
Yeah.
All right, so this was kind of a toss-up swap here.
This is a waiver wire fodder trade.
Yes, Kamish and my brother Mike here swap wide receivers. So you get Brian Edwards, and you sent Jerry Jeudy to Mike here, who's on the IR.
Yep.
This was a future pickup for Mike for a possibility of a keeper. And what was your thoughts on Edwards?
Yeah, I wanted to see if he could take stranglehold of that job in Las Vegas, and he hasn't. So he's honestly probably going to be on the waiver wire later this week. I think Mike probably won this trade, but I was going to drop Derek Jeudy, so I don't think I lost too much out of it.
Well, you took a chance. The Raiders can't choose between the 3 receivers they have there between Renfro, Edwards, and Ruggs. So on a clear Sunday to Sunday basis, there's no one we can trust.
Yeah.
All right. Oof. All right.
This is another trash trade
Yeah.
here.
So this is you and Leroyce. Myles Gaskins. You get Myles Gaskins. You
Here's
send
my
out-
trash for your trash.
Yes,
That's
well-
basically what happened here. Before we thought they were trash. So I wanted to trade Tyson for a while just because, I wanted to cash in on the last round pick and just see what I could get for him. Gaskin, being a Homer Dolphin, I thought it'd be fun to have him on the team. Well, Gaskin has sucked lately.
Didn't he have like 2 rushes for 3 yards last
Yeah,
Sunday?
I don't know what the Dolphins are doing. I mean, he's clearly the best running back there, and yet for some reason they want to get Malcolm Brown involved as well. I don't know. They're a mess over there. So at least my running back is still starting. I don't know what happened last week, but Tyson Williams was a healthy scratch apparently. Didn't even play the game. Did Le'Veon Bell play or who?
So Le'Veon played. Latavius Murray had more of the touches and more production. And then they just, immediately after the game, they put Le'Veon Bell back on the practice squad. Which you can do that like 2 more times throughout the year.
Yeah, so Tyson might get another chance. I don't know.
I think we'll talk about that later.
I think, I don't know. What would you say, Chris? I think maybe a slight edge to me because I have a running back that's playing still.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say. Like, if they figure it out, what happens. But Gaskin's also trending down.
Yeah.
Williams, healthy scratch is never good. But what's up with the extra fab Leroyce is getting? Like, this isn't real
So we
dollars.
want some little fab in there. Yeah.
I don't know if you think this is cryptocurrency, Leroyce, but it doesn't work that way. All right, so we got Joe and Leroyce. Man, Leroyce is on every single one of these. All right, so
I'm noticing a theme.
This one was a head scratcher to me because I know I was talking to him in trades. I was offering him a better quarterback than this. But Juju to Joe and Daniel Jones to Leroyce.
Yeah, I don't get this one. I mean, I haven't followed. What has Juju even done the last few weeks? I haven't really seen.
Not much.
Not much.
If you don't-
I thought it was a great trade because it looked like with Deontay out, Juju was gonna get quite a target share, but instead all those targets went to Najee Harris. So I mean Daniel Jones. I hope he's back on the waiver wire at this point. I don't get this trade at all.
Yeah, Juju's getting enough targets to be relevant early in the game, but the offensive line has given Ben no time to look downfield.
Yeah.
And I know why Leroyce did this. He and I were in talks about quarterbacks that I wanted from him. I wanted Russell Wilson. So he picks up Daniel Jones trying to find a quarterback to replace Wilson once he trades to me.
Okay.
Right. And I thought, and I was thinking maybe flipping Herbert to someone like Kibbles and Bits who needed some QB help. So we're talking this whole musical chairs of quarterbacks, and then Leroyce backs out on the Russell Wilson trade. So he's got an extra QB of Daniel Jones sitting on his bench.
Well, and Joe got 4 out of him 2 weeks ago and 2 out of him this week. So, yeah, another trade that doesn't really matter. You both lost.
Ooh, and this next one.
Here's a big
about
one.
10 days ago. Man, talking brother and brother-in-law here. All right. David Kalana, the Reverend himself, and Kittles and Bits. All right, Matt, our new guy in our league. They did a pretty big trade. David gets Stephon Diggs and Kareem Hunt, and he sends Kittles and Bits. I'm going to keep saying that as your name because it's just so fun to say.
Matt.
All right, Matt. Even though yours is like Kittles and Bitta, but whatever. You get Cordell Patterson and Devontae Adams. Did this look like a total win for David early on?
Yeah, I think it still is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Adams has outperformed Diggs, but I don't think Matt fairly valued what he had in Kareem Hunt, and I think he's a very solid RB2, which is what David really needed. Now, Cordell Patterson has turned out to be, I think, is he number 2 running back in the league right now?
So that's what I'm like. If you press on, if you look if you have the same trajectory where you see right now here at the end of week 4, Patterson is RB3.
Jeez.
RB3. And then you get Devontae Adams, who still got to work something out, man. Randall Cobb is taking too much away from him. But
so I think that bails him out because I saw that as just a throw in at that point, and I thought, well, David's going to win this trade. We saw Kareem Hunt explode the next week, seeing what he can do. He's just crazy talented. But yeah, no, I think this is another wash here. I think
so too.
I think you're actually going to be able to continue to start Patterson. I don't see him as an RB3 rest of season, but I do think he's a solid low end, flex worthy and running back 2 rest of season. And Kareem Hunt probably isn't that much better, and I think the Diggs-Adams swap isn't going to be that significant either.
It's going to be amazing when we talk about playoffs and we look back at this trade and say, Patterson was the key to win that trade. It's going to be ridiculous.
It's crazy.
All right. Daniel takes, his brother-in-law trades with him too, so the Kalana family here.
I see how it is.
Yeah.
Only in family trading.
That stinks, man.
I tried to get Julio many times.
I want to be a Kalana. Okay. So Daniel gets Julio Jones here from Kittles and Bitta. All right, Matthew. I call you Matthew in the world.
Matthew.
Matt gets DJ Chark and Chase Edmonds.
Yep. Well, Chark is hurt, so that's unfortunate, and so is Jones right now.
Yeah.
Julio's out, but man, I guess the theme here is everybody's done a pretty good job at trading, I would say, because I haven't seen any blowout wins currently here. Let me look up what Edmonds has actually done in the last few weeks here.
Yeah, well, as you're looking that up there, talking about the running backfield there in Arizona, it looks like Edmonds is losing out on goal line carries. Connor is
definitely
getting 40 yards rushing and like 2 touchdowns almost every Sunday. Because once they get inside the 10, if they can't pass the ball or scramble Murray, they're putting Connor in as a goal line back.
That's really only the downside of him. He's getting consistently about 65% of the snaps, which I would be very happy with in that Arizona offense. It looks amazing.
Oh, it does.
He's had 11 points, 15 points. He's been a solid running back, Chase Edmonds. So in this situation, I would say that, man, I think I'm gonna say Kittles and Bits wins this just because of the running back bump. Getting the fact that you're able to get a running back, and obviously Julio when he comes back, hopefully will be worth giving up for that running back. But yeah, I think getting the running back is going to be a better deal.
Yeah, and I see Daniel, what he does here. He's using the Matt's love for the Jaguars to send them like little send out. I wouldn't even want to take DJ
There's a little
Chark
bonus piece there.
any trade right now. But all right, talking about a terrible trade, finally got one. All right, so
This is
Royce.
This is what a testament to where I thought you clearly won this trade, and right now it's not looking that way.
And it is funny because I was hearing from, and it's awesome in our league. I've been 4 different group chats for our league alone.
Hey, there's only one, and for those that aren't in it, there's 0.
There's 0. Yeah, no, it's like 4 by like individuals. Like everyone hits me up individually. So Leroyce and I have been talking trades. He's wanted Hollywood for a while, and I wanted running back help.
Yep.
And I made this straight up offer to him. I'm one of those quick trade guys. I ain't talking forever. I'm offering you something. Let's go with it, right? And Leroyce is like, you're trying to like pull a wool over my eye or something. So he gets Hollywood Brown, and I take, all right, Tyson Williams.
Yep.
Thinking, awesome, upgrade. Sean, a few guys are like, oh, you want it. Joe, a couple other dudes are like, dude, the clear steal for Leroyce. And guess what? Clear steal for Leroyce so far one weekend.
That's true. Tyson did not play, and Marquise Brown had a really, really good game. So,
Yep, healthy scratch, a really good game. And, I played Leroyce that same week.
oh no.
And I lost.
So I'm going to still call this TBD, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
though. I think it's trending towards Leroyce at this point, but I still think there's a place for Tyson to step it up.
Yeah, and I had 3 wide receivers I liked above Hollywood, even though I love Hollywood's production so far this year.
Yeah.
And I thought I had a good flip on that. That sucks. All right, going to our last trade that's happened, 3-4 days ago?
Yep.
All right, Taj and Kittles and Bits. So it's Kittles and Bits and Leroyce. If you want to trade, hit up one of those 2 guys because that's like a common thread here.
Lately it's been Matt. Yeah, it was hard to crack him open, but now he's fully into the trading
Matt,
sphere.
you are welcomed in this league now. If
Yeah, you gotta trade.
Got to trade. All right, so the Taj, Tim James, he gets Melvin Gordon, and he sends Robbie Anderson and Elijah Mitchell to Kittles and Bitta. Who do
Yeah.
you think won that one?
This one is one of the clearest we've had, and I think Tim wins this trade.
Yep.
Melvin Gordon, he's not going anywhere. It's not like Javante's taken over. I think it's going to continue to be Melvin Gordon. He's a great RB2, and it looks like Elijah Mitchell can't get healthy, and Jeff Wilson will come back at some point. Robbie Anderson, still not involved in that offense. I don't know what happened to Robbie Anderson, but apparently Sam Darnold does not like him anymore because he's not good.
He seemed like a sure pick to get for a flex wide receiver.
Yeah.
Even a wide receiver too this year, and Robbie Anderson is disappearing. The targets are so small.
Yeah, he had a
week to
good week last week with 11 targets, only turned that into 7 fantasy points, but I just, you cannot feel confident starting that guy. And then once McCaffrey comes back, I think he gets even less work. So I think this is a win for Tim.
Yep. And knowing our league, guys, right before they go to bed, they flip up on the phone and they check rosters of who they can trade with. Leroyce, it's every other hour. He is finding someone to trade.
He's over there. Give me the hit. I need the
Yes,
new.
he's like, I need to try. I want to get excited. I want to get everybody,
I think Tim.
scratching their heads.
I think Leroyce enjoys trading more than he does actually playing fantasy football, which is fine. I get it. It's fun.
Yeah, you should.
Part of the reason I did my trade was just because I needed the juice.
Needed the juice. Leroyce, this is a mandatory. Your team name for every single draft night is called Trade Bait. That's all you need to put. Everything's Trade Bait who you're picking up on draft night. But that's it for the 757 episode, our winners, losers. Pretty good fair trading. I think our league has come a long way when it comes to trades.
Yeah.
Nobody trusted to trade. Now everyone's having fun with it.
I love the gates being opened. In your league, if you can't get trades going, number one thing is get talking. You have to have communication with everybody in the league if you're going to have trades happen. And then you just got to get it started. And, once you crack it open, I think it starts to be a more of a thing when people are, seeing other trades going on. They're like, I got to get on this. My team is just wasting away here without any trades. So.
Yep. So shout out to Sleeper. That's what we use. They have a great direct messaging app inside of it. So it's not always putting your stuff out there for the group chat to see. You can hit up individuals there in case you play in a league where you don't have everybody's cell number. Like you're playing a public league. So, all right, guys. Well, next episode here, we're going to jump back in and look back from the first month of the season. But that's everything for us in our local podcast. So, deuces.
Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Coach and Commish podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Coach and Commish. And join our Facebook group called Fantasy Football Advice with the Coach and Commish for direct access to weekly waiver wire and start sit advice.